Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a quick review on the Sig P229. So stick around and let's check it out. And as always, first thing we'll do is the safety check. You can see that there's no round inside the chamber. You can also stick your finger in and verify that. You can see that the magazine well is empty. You can verify that with your finger as well. And the magazine that we're going to use today is also empty, and you can verify that by rubbing your finger across the top. And this gun is the OD green or flat dark earth. I'm not really too sure which color it is, with the all black slide. This one is an all metal grip frame, and currently it has the plastic grips on it with the all black metal slide. And with the firearm's muzzle pointed to the left, we'll start from the front, the top of the slide, and work our way back. At the very top of the slide, we'll go ahead and check out the sight picture. You can see it has a pretty standard 1 dot on the front with the U-cut 2 dot on the back. I'll try to give you a sight picture right there. This does have the night glow sights in it. It's a little bit dirty right now. I've had this to the range a few times and haven't cleaned it yet, so I'll be doing that after this video. I guess I probably could have did it before the video, but it's okay. The front of the slide has some serrations, and the rear of the slide has quite a few more serrations, so it's pretty easy to grip a hold of and pretty easy to operate. Then on the grip frame, which I said before is an all metal grip frame, it's not the polymer. On the very front at the muzzle end, it has your pretty standard Picatinny rail, so you can put your light, your laser, or whatever it may be on the front there. And if we'll continue to the back of the gun along the grip frame, you'll feel and see a lever. This is going to be your takedown lever, and just below that will be your trigger well and your trigger. Behind the takedown lever is going to be your safety decocker, and just below that will be your magazine release. And then as you continue to the rear of the gun along the top of the grip frame, the last lever that you'll feel will be your slide stop or slide release, whichever you like to call it. So let's go ahead and start back at the magazine release. As most magazine releases do, they work pretty good. This drops out really smooth, really easy. It's super easy to get it back in there. You don't have to bump it or anything. It just slides right in, slides right out. Pretty comfortable. And on the back of the gun, it does have plastic grips, which are interchangeable. It has the 2 screws that you can see right here. So far, I'm pretty happy with it. It feels good in my hand. I'm not going to change it. I did buy this gun used. So I'll pretty much keep it the way it is. Once we get to talking about the trigger, that may be an issue for me. I have to show you guys and see what you guys think about it, but so far, if I was going to change something on it, it would be the trigger. So let's go ahead and talk about the safety decocker. This is a double action, single action pistol, so you can cock the hammer manually, and the safety cocker is really easy to operate. You just pull down on it with not a whole lot of tension, and then it will drop the hammer. You can also squeeze the trigger and depress the hammer like you would do with a revolver. I don't know that I would practice that very often. I think that's what the decocker is there for, so you don't have to do that. I have not tried that with it being loaded yet, and probably won't, because the only real time I'll be able to shoot it will be at my range, unless I can get out to my secret spot, and I can't really get there very often. Plus, I'm not really thrilled on trying to find out what's going to happen. I'd rather just take the safety decocker's word for it, because I have used that with the loaded gun, and it's worked properly, so I'll just stick with that. Then we'll go ahead and check out the slide release. Alright, the slide release, or the slide stop, whichever you'd like to call it, it's really easy to operate. You just barely push down on it, and it'll drop the gun back into battery. And also you can see that it cocked the hammer once you slide to the rear. So now the hammer's cocked, let's go ahead and look at the single action pull. I do have issues here with this trigger. As you can see, it's pretty squishy with the hammer cocked. But once you get to the back, it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure to drop the hammer, which is fine and cool. Now, with the hammer cocked in double action, you'll see that the trigger is quite a bit further up from the back of the well, and there's quite a bit of take up right there before you hit the initial tension. and pulling it back, there's quite a bit of tension for double action, and then it drops. And then as you cycle through the gun, the travel, maybe it's just me, but the travel seems kind of far. Let me do that again so that way you can hear it. So that seems kind of far. Plus, it's really squishy again. Now, once you get it to the back again, it's a really easy drop. So I have fired this gun quite a bit, and that would be the one issue that I have with this firearm is I may change the trigger on it because it's a little squishy for me, and it's awkward compared to the rest of the guns that I have and the rest of the ones that I've shot. It wasn't enough to stop me from buying it, but it is something that I may change in the future. So let's go ahead and take it down and show you how to do that. The best way to do that would be push the slide to the back and push your slide release up so it holds your slide back, and then back to just above the trigger well, your takedown lever, to swing that down 90 degrees. Grab a hold of your slide, push back, and release the slide release. And you do not have to pull the trigger, and the slide does come completely off. Then, as you can see, one of the things that I do like, and like I said, this gun is dirty, so I apologize for that. But this has the full length metal guide rods, which I like a lot. Sometimes they're plastic or sometimes they're really short. I'm not exactly a fan of that. This just makes me feel like it's more secure and it's more durable. But that's pretty much everything for the grip frame. And then we'll go ahead and look at the slide. And with the muzzle end pointed to the left and the ejection port pointed down, if you're looking inside what would be the bottom of the slide, you'll be able to see the spring and the guide rod. If you just push forward toward the muzzle end on the spring will release itself, and then you just pull it out, and you can inspect the spring for its tension and clean your guide rod and so forth. Then to take out the barrel, you just simply push it forward toward the muzzle end and it'll release itself, and you can just pull it out. That way you can clean it. That way you can clean inside your slide and everything like that. Really simple to put back together. Let's go ahead and push your barrel back in. And then with the spring end, where there's a lot of spring hanging over and the guide rod stops, make sure that spring end goes toward the front. That's a little bit harder to do on camera, but there we go. Popped right in on the first try, so we're good with that. Then to put it back together, once again, what I like a lot is you just line up the grooves in the slide and the guide rods, push the slide all the way back on, push it to the rear, lock it into place with the slide stop, lift your takedown lever back up 90 degrees, drop your slide, and then function check. Everything works good. Go ahead and test the magazine one more time. Everything works good. Magazine hold open. Now, one thing that I will mention with this gun is right now the hammer's cocked and there's no magazine in there. So if there was a round chambered, bang. So you got to make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing. Not every gun will fire when you take the magazine out. This one will, so you definitely want to be aware of that. So there's my review on the Sig P229. I'll go ahead and show you that on the slide. Pretty cool. I do like Sig stuff. This is a fun gun to shoot. If I was going to knock it for any reason, it would be this trigger. Maybe some of the people out there watching this are a little bit more in tune with Sig, and maybe this is like a normal thing. I've got the Sig P320, and the trigger is considerably better, at least in my opinion, than this one. So somewhere down the road, this one may get changed out, which would be a first, because normally when I buy a gun, I keep it the way it is. You know, I may add a scope or, you know, a bipod or something like that. And with pistols, I buy them because that's the way I want them, and I keep them that way. This one may break that trend, and I may change the trigger out on that. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll just have to wait and see. Really nice shooter. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think. Have a nice day, and I appreciate you stopping by.